Have you ever thought about how some seemingly harmless daily routines, those little things you do without a second thought, might actually be silently chipping away at your vitality, even shortening the precious years you have ahead? It's a tough thought, isn't it? We often assume that once we reach a certain age, say, after 70, that our health journey is largely set, that any decline is just part of getting older. But what if I told you that many of the struggles we face, the flagging energy, the aches and pains, even the forgotten moments, aren't inevitable? What if they're actually linked to habits that have become so ingrained, so normal, that we don't even see them as a problem? The truth is, there are certain common habits, subtle and often overlooked, that can quietly but powerfully impact your longevity and quality of life, especially once you're past the big 7-0. These aren't dramatic vices, but rather everyday patterns that accumulate their effects over time. In this video, we're going to gently uncover 7 of these surprising habits. We'll explore why they're so detrimental, and most importantly, what simple, practical steps you can take to turn them around. Because living a longer, healthier, and more vibrant life after 70 isn't just a dream. It's a very real possibility when you understand these often missed pieces of the puzzle. So, settle in, get comfortable, and let's explore this together. Make sure you watch right to the very end, because I'll be sharing something that might just surprise you and profoundly change how you think about your golden years. Let's dive straight into the first habit that often goes unnoticed, yet can have a significant impact on our well-being as we age: the silent thief of vitality, a lack of consistent movement. It's so easy to fall into the trap of thinking that as we get older, we naturally need to slow down, to rest more, to avoid anything that feels like exertion. We might spend hours sitting comfortably, watching television, reading a good book, or even enjoying our hobbies, believing we're doing our bodies a favor. But the surprising truth is that prolonged inactivity, that very gentle slowing down, can be one of the most damaging habits for our bodies after 70. When we don't move enough, our muscles begin to shrink and weaken, a process known as sarcopenia, which makes everyday tasks like climbing stairs or carrying groceries feel much harder. Our bones become more brittle, increasing the risk of fractures from simple falls. Our circulation slows, making us feel colder, more tired, and even impacting our brain function. It's like a car that sits in the garage for too long. Its parts start to seize up and rust. Think of Mrs. Henderson, a lovely lady who always loved gardening. After a minor knee issue, she started spending more and more time in her favorite armchair, telling herself she needed to take it easy, slowly. Her once vibrant movements became stiff. Her energy dwindled, and she found herself feeling much older than her years. The key isn't to suddenly become a marathon runner, but to simply integrate more gentle movement throughout your day. Instead of thinking of it as exercise, think of it as living. Can you take a short, leisurely walk around your garden after breakfast? Perhaps stand up and stretch during commercial breaks while watching TV. How about a gentle walk to the corner shop instead of driving? Even just standing up and moving around for a few minutes every hour can make a huge difference. Consider dancing to your favorite tunes in your living room, or joining a gentle exercise class like Tai Chi or water aerobics. The joy of movement isn't about breaking a sweat, but about keeping your body supple, your mind clear, and your spirit bright. It's about being able to reach for that top shelf, play with your grandchildren, and enjoy the beautiful world around you without stiffness or pain. Just a little bit more movement each day can unlock so much more energy and freedom. Now, closely linked to our energy levels and overall sense of well-being is our second habit: poor sleep. Many people assume that as you age, you naturally need less sleep. You hear stories of grandparents who seem to thrive on just a few hours a night. But this is a widespread misconception that can quietly undermine your health. Quality sleep isn't a luxury. It's a fundamental requirement for your body and mind to repair, rejuvenate, and function optimally. After 70, sleep becomes even more crucial for memory consolidation, hormone regulation, and bolstering your immune system. When sleep is consistently disturbed, or you're not getting enough deep, restorative sleep, it impacts everything. You might feel perpetually tired, find it harder to concentrate, become more irritable, and even be more susceptible to common illnesses. Consider Mr. Davies, who, like many, started falling asleep in his armchair in front of the television every evening, then would wake up disoriented and struggle to fall back asleep once he moved to his bed. He'd complain about brain fog and feeling constantly drained. The problem wasn't just the hours he was in bed, but the quality of that sleep. To improve your sleep, start by creating a consistent bedtime routine. Try to go to bed and wake up around the same time each day, even on weekends. Make your bedroom a sanctuary for sleep, dark, quiet, and cool. Avoid screens, like phones, tablets, or televisions, for at least an hour before bed, as the blue light can disrupt your body's natural sleep signals. Instead, try reading a physical book, listening to calming music, or taking a warm bath. Be mindful of what you consume late in the day. Limit caffeine and heavy meals close to bedtime. If you find yourself consistently struggling with sleep despite these changes, it's always a good idea to have a chat with your doctor, as underlying issues could be at play. Imagine waking up feeling truly refreshed, with a clear mind and renewed energy. That feeling isn't out of reach. It's a gift you can give yourself through better sleep habits. Moving on from sleep, let's talk about something incredibly fundamental that many of us simply overlook: chronic dehydration. It sounds simple, almost too simple to be a habit that shortens life, doesn't it? But as we age, our sensation of thirst often diminishes, meaning we don't feel parched even when our bodies are desperately crying out for water. Every single function in your body relies on water, from digestion and circulation to lubricating your joints and removing waste. Even mild dehydration can lead to fatigue, headaches, dizziness, confusion, and make constipation worse. It can even affect your balance, increasing the risk of falls. I remember my grandmother used to say she didn't like drinking too much because it meant more trips to the bathroom. This is a common sentiment, but it's a habit that silently saps vitality. She'd often feel lethargic and complain of dull headaches, which were almost always alleviated once she consciously started sipping water throughout the day. It's important to remember that teas and coffees, while liquids, often act as diuretics, meaning they can actually encourage your body to lose more water. The goal is to consistently sip plain water throughout the day. Keep a glass or a bottle of water within easy reach, perhaps by your favorite chair, on your bedside table, or next to your remote control. You might even set gentle reminders on your phone if that helps. Don't wait until you feel thirsty. By then, you're already in a state of dehydration. Try adding a slice of lemon, cucumber, or a few berries to your water to make it more appealing. Incorporate water-rich foods into your diet, like fruits and vegetables. By simply making a conscious effort to stay well hydrated, you'll likely notice a significant improvement in your energy levels, mental clarity, and even your digestion. It's a habit that brings immediate and lasting benefits, making you feel more vibrant and alive. Now that we've explored the profound effects of consistent movement, quality sleep, and proper hydration, let's turn our attention to other subtle habits that can silently chip away at our longevity and happiness. Next, we'll delve into something that touches our very human need for connection: the silent toll of social isolation. It might seem strange to link social connection to how long you live, but research is increasingly showing that strong social bonds are as important to your health as diet and exercise. Loneliness and feeling isolated, especially after 70, can have surprisingly detrimental effects on both mental and physical well-being. It's not just about feeling sad. Prolonged isolation can lead to increased inflammation in the body, higher blood pressure, a weaker immune system, and even a faster rate of cognitive decline. It truly is like a silent disease, slowly eroding your resilience and joy. Think of someone like Mr. Smith, who, after his wife passed, gradually withdrew from his usual activities. He stopped going to the weekly bridge game, turned down invitations from neighbors, and relied solely on television for companionship. He started feeling more anxious, less motivated, and his physical health seemed to decline more rapidly. The challenge here is that it can feel daunting to put yourself out there again, especially if you're feeling shy or unsure. But even small steps can make a monumental difference. Start by reaching out to an old friend you haven't spoken to in a while with a simple phone call. Look into joining local community groups or clubs, perhaps a book club, a walking group, a knitting circle, or a gardening club. Many communities have senior centers that offer a wonderful array of activities. Volunteering for a cause you care about is another fantastic way to meet like-minded people and gain a renewed sense of purpose. Even striking up conversations with your neighbors, or making an effort to visit local shops and businesses where you can interact with others, can help. Remember, it's not about having dozens of friends, but about cultivating a few meaningful connections that bring you joy and a sense of belonging. The warmth of human connection truly nourishes the soul and helps keep your body healthy. Our next habit is perhaps one of the most insidious because it often comes from a place of resignation, ignoring minor health issues. It's very common for people over 70 to dismiss new aches, pains, changes in digestion, or persistent fatigue as just part of getting older. We might tell ourselves, "Oh, it's just my joints acting up," or "I'm not as young as I used to be, so tiredness is normal." This mindset, while understandable, can be incredibly dangerous. What starts as a minor, manageable symptom, if ignored, can often progress into a more serious or chronic condition that becomes much harder to treat. Delayed diagnosis means missing crucial opportunities for early intervention, which can make all the difference in managing conditions effectively and maintaining your quality of life. I recall an elderly relative who began experiencing persistent heartburn. She attributed it to eating too much spice and self-treated with antacids for months, reluctant to bother her doctor. Eventually, the pain worsened, and it turned out to be a more significant issue that could have been addressed much more easily had she sought advice sooner. The key here is to listen to your body and take its whispers seriously. Don't dismiss new or persistent symptoms, no matter how minor they seem. Keep a little journal if it helps, noting down when symptoms appear, how long they last, and what makes them better or worse. When you speak to your doctor, be open and honest about all your concerns, even the ones you think are just age-related. Regular checkups, including dental, eye, and general physicals, are your allies in this. They are opportunities to proactively monitor your health, catch potential issues early, and discuss any changes you're experiencing. Empower yourself by being an active participant in your health care. It's about taking charge of your well-being, not letting it happen to you. Early detection often means simpler, more effective treatments, and it buys you precious years of healthy, active living. Next, we need to talk about unmanaged chronic stress. We all experience stress. Regardless of age, it's a natural response to challenges. But when stress becomes a constant companion, when it's chronic and unmanaged, it starts to silently erode your health. After 70, the impact can be even more pronounced. Chronic stress keeps your body in a constant state of fight or flight, flooding your system with hormones like cortisol. This can lead to increased blood pressure, a weakened immune system, digestive issues, poor sleep, and even contribute to inflammation throughout your body, which is a driver of many age-related diseases. You might not even realize you're chronically stressed. It can manifest as constant worrying, irritability, difficulty relaxing, or persistent fatigue that no amount of sleep seems to fix. Think of Mrs. Peterson, who was constantly worried about her adult children, the news headlines, and every little ache or pain. She'd spend hours replaying scenarios in her mind, and while she seemed outwardly calm, her body was under siege. She often complained of stomach problems and restless nights, The important thing is to find healthy outlets for stress and develop coping mechanisms. This isn't about eliminating stress from your life entirely. That's impossible. But about managing your reaction to it. Simple practices like deep breathing exercises can be incredibly effective. Just a few minutes of slow, mindful breaths can calm your nervous system. Spending time in nature, even just sitting in a park or your garden, can have a profoundly calming effect. Pursue hobbies that bring you joy and help you switch off from worries. Learning to say no to commitments that overwhelm you. And setting healthy boundaries can also reduce your stress load. Sometimes, simply talking about your worries with a trusted friend, family member, or a professional can lighten the burden. Taking proactive steps to manage stress will not only improve your mental health, but will directly benefit your physical health, making you feel more peaceful, energetic, and resilient. Finally, let's address a habit that underlies so much of our physical health over reliance on processed foods and a lack of nutrient density in our diets. It's so easy, especially as we get older, to opt for convenience, ready meals, sugary drinks, biscuits, white bread, and quick snacks might seem harmless or even necessary when you're less inclined to cook elaborate meals. However, these processed foods are often high in sugar, unhealthy fats, excessive salt, and artificial additives, while being alarmingly low in essential vitamins, minerals, and fiber. This kind of diet quietly contributes to inflammation, weight gain, digestive problems, and significantly increases your risk of chronic diseases like diabetes, heart disease, and even certain cancers. Your body after 70 needs nutrient-dense fuel more than ever to repair cells, maintain energy, and support all its vital functions. Consider Mr. Johnson, who lived alone and found cooking a chore. His diet consisted mainly of frozen dinners, canned soups, and white toast. While he was eating enough calories, he was constantly tired, his immune system seemed weak, and he struggled with his digestion. He wasn't malnourished in the sense of not eating enough, but he was certainly undernourished from a lack of vital nutrients. The shift doesn't have to be drastic. Start by making small, conscious swaps. Instead of reaching for a biscuit, grab a piece of fruit. Swap white bread for wholemeal. Add more vegetables to your plate, aiming for a variety of colors. Prioritize whole, unprocessed foods, fresh fruits and vegetables, lean proteins like chicken or fish, eggs, whole grains like oats or brown rice, and healthy fats from nuts, seeds, and olive oil. Cooking at home more often gives you control over your ingredients. Even simple meals prepared from scratch are far superior to most processed options. Think about batch cooking a large pot of vegetable soup or a healthy stew that can last for several meals. By focusing on nutrient-rich foods, you're not just eating, you're actively building a stronger, more resilient body, giving you more energy, better digestion, a clearer mind, and a stronger immune system to truly enjoy your golden years. As we reflect on these 7 habits, the quiet neglect of movement, the disturbed nights, the overlooked thirst, the lonely heart, the ignored whisper of pain, the relentless grip of stress, and the less than nourishing plate, it becomes clear that true longevity isn't just about avoiding major illnesses. It's about cultivating a lifestyle that actively supports every cell in your body, every thought in your mind, and every beat of your heart. This isn't about perfection, or suddenly overhauling your entire life overnight. That's simply not realistic, nor is it the point. The real power lies in awareness, in understanding that you have agency over these areas. Remember, every single one of these habits can be gently nudged in a more positive direction. It starts with one small step, one conscious choice today that leads to a healthier tomorrow. Think of it not as a burden, but as an exciting opportunity to reclaim your vitality. To add not just years to your life, but life to your years. Your body is incredibly resilient, and it responds beautifully to even the smallest efforts you make to nurture it. Imagine the freedom of movement, the peace of deep sleep, the clarity of a well-hydrated mind, the joy of connection, the confidence of proactive health, the calm of a managed mind, and the sustained energy from truly nourishing food. These aren't far-off dreams. They are within your reach. Starting now. I'm so curious to hear your thoughts on this. Have any of these habits resonated with you? Perhaps you've already made positive changes in some of these areas. Or maybe you have a question about how to start. Please share your insights, your experiences, or even just your questions in the comments below. Your wisdom and experiences can truly help others in this wonderful community. And if this video has given you a moment of clarity, a spark of inspiration, or just a gentle nudge towards a healthier path, please do give it a thumbs up. That really helps us reach more people who need to hear this message. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to our channel. We're dedicated to bringing you more practical, heartwarming advice to help you live your best life at every age. Join our family here, and let's continue this journey of health and happiness together. Now, for that surprise I mentioned at the very beginning, you might have come into this video thinking about avoiding things that shorten your life. But here's the beautiful truth: focusing on these habits isn't just about extending your lifespan. It's about profoundly enriching your quality of life in the present moment. The surprise is that by addressing these seemingly small habits, you're not just buying yourself more time, you're investing in more joy, more energy, more independence, and more vibrant experiences right now. Today, it's about feeling better, doing more, and truly savoring every single day. The greatest longevity secret isn't some rare superfood or miracle pill. It's the consistent, loving attention you give to yourself, day in and day out. So, go forth, embrace these insights, and remember your golden years are meant to shine their brightest. Live your best life at every age, starting right now.